no messing around, New England IPA. Here's the brew footage. I'll be back to pour it in a second. Welcome to the brew shed. It's Monday the 6th, bank holiday Monday the 6th of May. In typical fashion, it's chucking it down. Happy bank holiday Monday, everyone. Welcome to England. But we're brewing, so that's the good thing. We're brewing a New England IPA today, hot off the heels of last night. The Malt Miller posted up that they brewed a New England IPA, and I went through their recipe and showed the results and that sort of thing. Complete coincidence. That was only yesterday. I didn't know they were doing that, so this is my recipe. Mine is very different to theirs. We've got. It says, so when I do my Brewfather recipes, I don't come up with jazzy names and things as some people do. This is NEIPA V2G, you can see there. And it's 6.2%, 32 IBUs. Let me go through the malts. We're going to do 4.5 kilos of Golden Promise, 750 grams of wheat, 480 grams of carapels and 340 grams of golden naked oats. Hops, right, now this is the weird thing, and I'm doing something a little bit different here to what I would normally do, but it's literally a use-up brew. So I had loads of bits and bobs of hops that I had left in my freezer, and it's kind of like going to use them up in a NEIPA. So I've got, in a hop stand, I've got 180 gram hops in a hop stand. My hops, I put in a hell of a lot more than the Malt Miller did, but anyway, this is my recipe. I do this all the time. 78 grams of Citra, 38 grams of Eldorado, 32 grams of Nelson Sauvin, 17 grams of Brew 1, and 15 grams of Nextron. That's 180 gram in a dry hop of 5 different hops. You know, what's it going to bring to the party? Hopefully, it's just going to be like a fruit salad, right? It's going to be the yeast. I am using exactly the same yeast as the Malt Miller did. So 2 packs of saturated WHC saturated yeast. So I'll be whacking them in at the end. Then to dry hop, so tend to leave that going. It will take about a week and a bit, maybe a week to usually ferment out. Reduce the temperature down to 13. Dry hop it, and the dry hops are going to be 130 grams of Citra, 62 grams of Eldorado, 53 grams of Nelson Sauvin, 29 grams of Brew 1, and 26 grams of Nextron. Just using up what I've got in the freezer. As I say, WHC saturated. I've already sparged and brewed, so now we're just literally with the boiler, and we are at 93 degrees, so we're getting close to the boil. I've just sanitize my balls because my balls get quite filthy, so I needed to make sure that they're nice and clean. It's good knowing that you've got nice clean balls while you're brewing, so that's good. Don't know when I'll get this video up. I probably might do a grain to glass again. I've got footage of a grain to glass that I did a little while ago for a Sarah Pantry thing. She posted up and said, look, no one's done any videos. I haven't done any videos in ages. I haven't posted stuff up. When Sarah said about this grain to glass video to do, I was like, yeah, great, I'll polish it, I'll get out the camera and I'll put it up and I'll have a new, oh, it'd be great. Put the camera onto a little camera thing that I've got to the side here, a little sort of like stand, and it sticks onto the top of the freezer rather, that you're on. And it weren't sticky enough, and it fell off and smashed on the floor, but it smashed literally right onto the lens and bugged it up. So it was never a great camera, to be honest. So this is a new camera you've got. You might notice there's a bit of a difference. It's a much better camera. I'm quite keen now, so this is me sort of like going, right, I'm going to make more videos now, and hopefully they're going to be better. It's got a microphone with it. This camera's great. It kind of tracks me around. So as I go over here, you'll see it just literally follows me around. So hopefully it's not going to make people dizzy while they're watching it. That's the only thing. Anyway, I'm absolutely waffling now. So there we go. I've got to weigh out the weigh out the hops. I've got to get the maltodextrin. So there is, at 15 minutes towards the end of the boil, I put in 530 grams of maltodextrin. I didn't mention that. That's in the recipe. I've got to weigh that out. I've got that down here. Here we go, got that down here. So there's the maltodextrin, so I've just got to weigh that out and weigh out the hops. And yeah, I think everything else is pretty much ready. I've got to empty the mash tun. The mash tun is down there. Might not be able to see it. Anyway, it's down there. I've just got to empty that out and get it out. It's going to be interesting cleaning up because I do a lot of cleaning up outside, and like I say, it's chucking it down. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But anyway, I've done just over 6 minutes. That's good enough for now. I will end this now, and I'll be back when I'm doing something a bit more interesting. Bye. What I am going to show you, I think I may have shown this in a previous video before, but I'm not quite sure about it. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I add the maltodextrin. So there's our 530 grams of maltodextrin. So 265 there, 265 in there. So a 2.5 litre jug. So what I tend to do, get the maltodextrin out, put it into the jug. Then I pour some wort, hot wort, out of there into here. So be very careful, obviously. Now that's boiling hot wort, so just be careful. Whisk. Get it in. Get it whisked around in the jug. Get as much sort of dissolved in here as you possibly can. Might add a bit more wort into that. Right, and then pour that back in. And the reason I do that is because it tends to, if I just chuck that straight in there and then stir, what tends to happen, I find it tends to just drop straight to the bottom. This is a buffalo boiler. At the bottom of there's like a plate, hot plate. It drops right down to the hot and just sticks on the hot plate. And when you get to the end and you try and clean it up, it's just like loads of gunk stuck and it's burnt on and all that sort of thing. It probably will still happen with this. You still get some burnt on stuff, but it's a better way of doing it. It tends to mix in a lot better. And I've got a really good mix in a controlled area rather than putting it into the bigger boiler and trying to mix it in a bigger sort of way. I've also got the immersion chillers also in there, so that's getting in the way. I've got the bag that's going to have the hops in there, so that's going to get in the way. Much easier way of doing it, I find. Anyway, I'm going to do that same thing with this one, but I won't show you again. It's the same thing. So pour that into the jug, pour the hot water in, and then mix it around, and then pour it back in again. So I'm going to do it with that one, but I'll be back a bit later. So we're all done, and we're safely tucked up in the fermenter behind me. Just last bit of cleanup to do. There's the trial jar. You can see probably murky as heck, which is great for a you know, the look of a New England IPA. We're slightly down on the numbers. I say slightly, we're quite a bit down on the numbers. we were looking at 1068. We've got about 1064, so we're about 4 points down. So it'll be marginally more sessionable, I should say, than 6.2%, which we're looking for. Let's see what the yeast does. I mean, we're predicting a 1021. So I've put in 2 packs of that saturated. Maybe it will go below that. Let's see. Anyway, happy with that. That's all good. Because I've got a grain to glass coming, I might just whack this on a grain to glass as well. So I might wait till it's finished, so I can show you the end product, which should be quite good. I like the end product of a New England IPA. It's pretty cool. So happy with that. Let's have a sip of this. Usually a bit mank. Very hoppy. Very hoppy, but yeah, looks good. Okay. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Right, so if it's a grain to glass, I'll be back with the glass bit just after this, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye. Right, that's enough of that faffing around. Let's get the brew. Let's get the pour on. So we're ready to go. Let's get you over. I'll show you me pouring it, and then we'll be drinking it. Boom. Right, so there you go. You know, absolutely chuffed as hell with that. Take a look at that. Don't know how it comes across in the camera. It's absolutely sort of just opaque. It's sort of like, it basically looks like, you know, grapefruit juice. And so the look of it absolutely nails the brief on the head. On the nose, yeah, it's not overwhelming, but still sort of like, you know, sort of all the sort of piney fruits, sort of stone fruits. Not stone fruits, what do I mean? Fucking citrus fruits. Sort of mango, grapefruit. Not so much grapefruit actually, but more mango, sort of, I don't know, papaya, fuck knows, I don't know, whatever. It's fucking, it smells fruity. Sorry about my language. It smells amazing. Let's go in for the taste. I think with this particular one, you get a little bit of a sort of almost the pithiness of the fruit. I think it's very young. So let's put that out first of all. It's very young. So it was kegged on Friday. This is Sunday, so it's only a couple of days old. That sort of like slight hop harshness, if you like, could subside a little bit. There's no sort of hop burn with it, but it may be slightly more bitter than you'd imagine, right? It's not a bad thing. It's not, you know, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful beer. Really, really tasty, really fruity, really lovely, but it's just got that backbone of a little bit of greenness, maybe that's what it is. Maybe if I have this in a couple of weeks' time, that green sort of hop taste will die down a little bit. There's a lot of hops in here. I had an absolute disaster kegging this. So the the grandfather rather fermenters behind me, there's two ways that you can ferment from. It's got a tap at the bottom, which is what I use, 95% of the time, and you literally just turn the tap on and it just pours out. Fabulous. With the hoppier beers, the tap just won't work. You turn it on and nothing comes out. It doesn't matter, you can, so I always sort of like put gas into it to feed it, to push it out, and it was just doing nothing. Nothing was coming out at all. So I had to go out the top instead. So you can do it and you've got the equipment to do it, but it's a bit of a faff and a bit of a pain in the arse to mess around. So you have to like get the gas canister thing off and then put a different top on and put the thing that goes into the tube that goes down the down the fermenter to get it all out. So got all that ready, got it all done. Still nothing was coming out. It was coming out the top and it would just stop. Now, why has that stopped? Why won't it come out? Come on! I'm trying to keg this bloody beer. Come on! I then later on found out that I hadn't actually connected it to the keg, so it was sort of coming out and then just hitting an air pocket and not going any further. So also the gas ran out halfway through as well. So it was a nightmare kegging it, but got there in the end. Didn't quite get a full keg's worth. Not really surprising because of the amount of trub that was at the bottom of this this brew. So lots of hop, 2 packs of yeast. There is a lot going on in there. So sometimes with those you don't get your full sort of like allocation of a keg's worth. So fair enough. But very, very pleased with what came out. I mean, as I say, the look of it, you don't get any better than that as far as a New England IPA goes. Flavour wise, it could be better, but maybe that will come with a little bit of time. The aroma, lovely. Absolutely, it just smells of fruit salad basically. As I say, I think the flavour will get better over time. It's a little bit green, so hopefully, but pretty pleased with that, how it's come out. And yeah, so if you want to brew a New England IPA, guaranteed you use this recipe. I'll put it in the links below. It gives you what you need to get on the tin, right? So use that. My version that I do when I stir in the maltodextrin, all that sort of thing, seems to just give it that return, give it that sort of result that you get with doing that recipe and that method. Cheers guys, very happy. Onwards and upwards. I've been brewing this whole weekend. It's been a busy weekend. I'm absolutely knackered. It might come across on this video, but there you go. And I'm gonna see you again in another video at another time. Mwah. Love you. Bye.